All right, today's lesson we are looking at perimeter formulas, and we're going to start with rectangles, then we're going to look at squares, and then we're going to look at triangles. So we're looking at 3 formulas today. So let's take a look at the perimeter formula for a rectangle. The formula is perimeter is equal to 2L plus 2W. That's the formula. The L represents length, so length, and the W represents width, so the width here. So when we're looking at perimeter using these formulas, you just need to do substitution into the formula, just like we did substitution back when we were looking at like algebra. So similarly, we are going to substitute these following numbers into our formula appropriately, where L is length and W is width. So next step is substitution. I'm using brackets. So it's 12 for length. Remember, 2L here means it's 2 times L. So we are multiplying. If you didn't use the brackets, it would look like 212. But you have to use the brackets to show that you're multiplying. Plus 2 times W, so 2 times 7, like this. Next step, so order of operations, you're going to do the multiplication. So 2 times 12 gives me 24, plus 2 times 7, which is 14. So 24 plus 14 gives me 38. So the perimeter is equal to 38 meters. All right, and that is using the formula method, which is important because when we get into further classes, you might be given perimeter, you might have to solve for length, you might be given perimeter, you might have to solve for width. So then you would use your knowledge of equations to solve for those variables. All right, so next we're looking at the perimeter formula for a square. So the formula for perimeter of a square is P equals 4S. So that means it's 4 times S. S represents the sides. So there's 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, these dashed lines through each side means that each of these sides have the same measurement. So it's 7, 7, 7, and 7. All right, so the formula for it is just 4 times S. The side is 7 centimeters long. So perimeter, therefore, is equal to 4 times 7, which gives me 28 centimeters. All right, if you had added 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, you would still get 28 centimeters. But because it's a square and we know all 4 sides are going to be the same, the formula for it is just 4 times S. Just multiply 4 times 7, which gives me the 28 centimeters. Okay, so the next example we have here is for a triangle. And the formula for the perimeter of a triangle, it's basically adding up all 3 sides. But it's represented as B for base plus side 1 plus side 2. So our base would be 14. So perimeter is equal to 14 plus side 1, we can call that 8, and side 2 is 11. So in this one, it's really just adding up all 3 sides. Just remember that B, when we go on into other formulas, the B represents base, the S continues to represent sides. So 14 plus 8 plus 11, that gives me 33 meters for the triangle. One other thing I wanted to mention was if you have an isosceles triangle that looks like this, you'll usually see it like this, representing these 2 sides have the same measurement. And if you have an equilateral triangle, that means all 3 sides are the same. So 1, 2, 3, like that. That means all 3 have the same measurement. Recording. The next example, it's a rectangle question, and we're using the formula for the rectangle P equals 2L plus 2W. We're going to substitute 9 in for length, and we're going to substitute the 4 in for width. So P is equal to 2 times 9 plus 2 times 4. That gives me 18 plus 8, which gives me 26 meters.